Hey, hola everyone. So I'm going to do a video on Jupiter and Capricorn. I've been kind of putting this off a little bit, but the time is now. So I just sold out of my lust ritual. I can't even promote it since I just sold out of it. But anywho, so I'll do some housekeeping first because I'm going to put this video on YouTube. So I would like for everyone to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Please visit my website, glamalchemy.com. I currently have the last two of the annual rituals that I'm going to do for this year, and then starting next year, I will be mainly only doing private rituals. I will probably sometimes do group rituals here and there, but it will mainly be on a private basis. So for those of you who have been doing rituals with me and have been reaping the benefits of that, happy for you, because the price is going up, which is a little bit of what Jupiter and Capricorn is about, and I'll talk about that. Yes, my digital astrology calendar, which is a calendar you can upload to your iPhone, iPad, any type of calendar system, Google Calendar, that will literally update you every time a planet moves, their transit happens, so you'll never be like, I don't know where Venus is right now, I don't know what's going on in my life. No excuses for that, because you can always download the digital astrology calendar. It is $11.11 until, I mean $11.11 until, I'll leave it up until the 3rd. Hoping that the noise in the background does not get out of control. I'm just going to say a little prayer. So anywho, what else? Digital astrology calendar. I told you guys about the rituals on my website. And those of you who are interested in learning spellcasting, basic spellcasting, I am still accepting students for that. Please email me. I'll have my email available, or you can DM me if you're watching me on Facebook, and I can get you set up with that. That will start on the winter solstice, which is 12/21. The next two rituals, no, I'm looking. The next two rituals that I have for this month are the health ritual, which is going to be on 12/12 when Chiron goes direct, and that is going to be for anybody who has physical health problems that they want to heal. As a ritual for that, and then 12/26. Right after the eclipse, we will be doing a better business ritual. So if you have a business that you want to see grow, or some type of business idea that you want to see grow, 12/26, we're doing a ritual for that. It's in Capricorn season, which is about business. So it's going to be lit. So what else do I want to say before I get into this forecast? Talking about the calendar, the rituals. I think that's it. Okay, so Jupiter and Capricorn, oh yes, if anybody wants to see where this will specifically affect them, I will be posting a link on Facebook, or you can DM me, and I'll have, by the time I put this on YouTube, I'll have a link for it. So you guys can wait till I post it on YouTube if you want, but I'll have a link to help those of you who want to know more about it. So, Jupiter and Capricorn, baby, it's going to be lit, okay? It's going to be very interesting. Now, I've heard a lot of stories and other forecasts from other people saying it's going to be this super lucky time for businesses and blah, 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 blah. Stop right there. Stop right there. Jupiter is actually in its quote-unquote fall, or in its detriment when it's in Capricorn. It is not comfortable in Capricorn. Why? Because Jupiter is a carefree, happy-go-lucky type energy, and Capricorn is about discipline, restriction, and order. So the energies kind of don't really go together. However, they are going to go together, and it's going to be what it is. Kind of like with Uranus being in Taurus right now, and all of the like crazy things going on with money, because there will be a stock market crash, and probably a housing crash, and probably some type of a food shortage. We've already been seeing weird things go on with food, people licking ice cream. That's Uranus and Taurus. That's what happens when a planet is in a sign that it doesn't like to be in. The energy is kind of like effed up, okay? So Jupiter and Capricorn, it's not in its best place. However, there are ways to survive this transit, and I'm going to tell you how. So Jupiter being in Capricorn, overall, what are we going to see? What does this mean? We're going to see an expansion of businesses. We've already kind of started to see this happen, but we're going to see this on a greater scale. People literally, like almost everybody having their own type of business or working for a smaller business. One of the other things that I predict is going to happen with Jupiter in Capricorn is the fall of corporate America. And I think it's going to be related to people starting their own businesses because they're just fucking fed up. They're fed up with not being paid enough money. They're fed up with, you know, the raggedy benefits. I recently saw somebody that I follow on here. She posted an article. She shared an article from, I'm not sure what was the company or the organization, the blog that was talking about it, but they were like, it doesn't even make sense that there are job announcements that don't tell you how much they're paying. And I mean, that's a common thing, but isn't that like so like stupid, you know, like that they don't even put that kind of information on there. So stuff like that, a lot of American workers are going to get fed up because housing is going up and pay is not. Right? So that's going to be a really, really big thing with Jupiter and Capricorn. People deciding, I don't want to do this no more. I'm going to start my own LLC, or I'm going to start my own business, or I'm going to be, what do we call it? Because it will aspect Uranus, which is unexpected and unconventional ways of making money. So you're going to see even more people doing, like, basically participating in the quote-unquote gig economy. You know, people who don't start their own businesses, they'll be like, oh, well, I do Uber, and I do DoorDash, and I do, like, and there are already people who do that, but that's going to grow. Like, people are going to get fed up, and then you're going to see a lot of companies go bankrupt. Really, really big companies go bankrupt. Because, like I said, you're going to see people leaving. Now, one of the big things that a lot of astrologers have been talking about for years now, I mean, years now, is, what is it? The conjunction of Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto all being at the exact same degree in January. And I believe it's going to be January 12th when that's going to happen. I predict it's going to be like a massive strike or something is going to go on with the government. So to recap, Capricorn rules all forms of businesses, all types of structures. This also includes like school, like the school system, the corporate America system, any kind of system. That's Capricorn energy. Any type of authority figure of any kind is Capricorn energy. That it also includes the government. That also includes the president. That includes government officials. So to add on to that, there will be a lot of stuff coming out about the American government. Stuff that, without me being too woo-woo, you may have heard conspiracy theorists talk about certain things, and you were like, oh, there's no way the American government is doing that. Well, it's going to be put on blast, because what does Jupiter do? It expands, and it also puts on blast. If you look back at some of my videos, I talked about when Jupiter was in the sign of Scorpio, which is the sign of sex, and I was just like, going to be sex offenders getting put on blast continuously. And that's exactly what happened that year. That was 2 years ago. You started to see that come out a lot. Well, now you're going to see presidents, CEOs, CFOs, people in power get put on blast or be exalted if they're doing things that are positive, if they're doing things that are good. They will be but it's all just, Jupiter is an amplifier of energy. So if it's bad, it's going to amplify that. I mean, Jupiter really didn't even like being in Libra either, and that was kind of a jacked up time. I remember there was a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people getting sued for stuff. Because Jupiter doesn't really like being in Libra. But like I said, it's in its fall, which is an astrological term for it being uncomfortable or being in its weakest spot in Capricorn. So the thing is with Jupiter, it's about luck. So with it being in Capricorn, you have a little bit of luck, but you're not going to have as much as it would be elsewhere. So the theme of Capricorn is work. So that's what's going to help you get further with Jupiter and Capricorn, is if you actually do the work. That's the trick with Jupiter and Capricorn. You got to actually show up. You got to actually do the application. You got to, it's not going to be like Jupiter and Sag, where it's been at home where things just miraculously happen for you. No, not no more. You're going to have to actually do the work for it. Also with Jupiter and Capricorn, how do you know if you're in alignment with this energy, if this is going to be a good or a bad transit for you, even without getting a reading? Again, you can contact me. I can do a specific reading on how Jupiter and Capricorn is going to affect you, because Saturn and Pluto is already in Capricorn. That's already affecting you. Jupiter is going to amplify that energy. So if you want a reading, please contact me. Hey girl. However, with Jupiter and Capricorn, how do you know if you're in alignment with this energy? Ask yourself if you have been focused like a mountain goat on something. Do you have something that you're like, I gotta get this shit together? Hey, especially if it's about money or business. If you're like, I gotta start this business 2020, I gotta build this generational wealth 2020, I gotta do this. If your mindset, hey Nicole, if your mindset is like that, you're in alignment with this energy, because Capricorn energy is like, get it done. If you're like, oh, I'm chilling, 2020, I'm just about to kick back and do nothing, live my best life, you're the fuck out of line with this energy. This is probably going to be a difficult transit for you, because, again, this is about getting your whole life together. So I'll use myself as an example, a little bit. I'm going to tell y'all about my business, but Jupiter is going to be affecting my solar third house. And the third house is the house of communication. It's the house of speech. It's the house of neighborhoods. It's the house of siblings. It's the house of mentalism. So I've already had Saturn and Pluto there. It's already been restructuring my mind. I have become very, very, hey y'all, I've become very, very short in my speech, because I'm honestly at a place where I don't even like talking that much anymore. I could literally go days without speaking to anybody. It's wonderful. I love it. So I've gotten very serious. I've even considered doing a silent retreat, because honestly, the sound of human voices has become very irritating to me at this point in my life. I try to minimize talking to people as much as I possibly can. In certain aspects, certain respects, I kind of have moods where I want to talk and times when I don't. Which I've always been introverted, but I can definitely see that Saturn intensity on that for me. Also, I've committed myself to learning a foreign language, speech, and then in 2020, the nodes are going to shift to the North Node in Gemini, South Node in Capricorn. So you're going to see a lot of, South Node in Sagittarius. You're going to see a lot of like long distance travel, or people learning other languages, or doing commerce with other countries, movements. You're going to just see a lot of third and ninth house action anyway. So I guess I'm just kind of being thwarted into that kind of energy. What else is third house? I have been asked to speak on a lot of different podcasts. Of course, I'll be letting you guys know about that as other things come up. I have been invited to be on the cover of an author's book. It's just third house stuff. So this is Jupiter. This is bringing opportunity. It's, putting me in that space of speaking. Yes, girl. Yes. Whoo, child. Girl, my communication I'm probably going to get even more silent on people very soon, because I just really can't deal with the talking. Like, I can't really explain how annoying it is for people to talk to me now. I know that sounds really mean, but that's kind of Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy is about business, and it really doesn't give a fuck about your feelings. Just please know that. Like, it does not give a fuck about your feelings at all. And honestly, a lot of it isn't even fucking personal. The things with Capricorn energy, because a lot of people think Capricorns are mean and they're callous or whatever. It's not even personal. They're just like, can we get back to business? Can we make this money? Like, that's just how they are. That's kind of how I am. Like, I was talking to somebody today, and I literally had to be like, I'm studying for my exam right now. I really can't talk to you. And they were like, oh, okay. And it's just like, yeah, because this is about money. So I really can't I don't have shit else to say to you. Like, I'm trying to study right now. So, which is a third house thing. Studying is a third house thing. So, it's possible that I may end up studying for even more things. Jupiter goes into Capricorn tomorrow. So, by the time I take this exam that I'm studying for, that's an example of Jupiter being in my third house. A year ago, if you would have told me you're going to be taking an exam next year, I would be like, for what? But that's just how it's working out for me. And it's an aspect to the field that I'm actually going into, so that kind of explains that. Yeah, see, another person who has Jupiter in their third house, they're going back to school in January. See, like, that's just how it works. So, me changing my speech through learning another language, not talking to certain people, cutting people off, focusing on where Saturn has made my where I've lived very uncomfortable for me several times. So Jupiter is going to come in and help me to move. And then honestly, I was doing some work with some people last week, and I actually found out that I could get a bigger living space than I anticipated. I'm about to move a bigger living space than I even anticipated, and I'm just like, wow. But that's Jupiter expanding. Is it going to be a little bit more expensive? It will be, but it'll be a better situation for me and my family and my mental space and everything. Hey, because this actually made it really challenging, because I've had, like, when I lived in California, I always had roommates, and it was always very challenging for me because I do not like other people's noises and sharing anything with anybody, honestly. So it was just very uncomfortable for me to deal with, and oh dang, I dropped. It's okay. It was just, yeah. Anyway, but that's how Jupiter is working that out for me. Also, two of the people who have helped me, or that I will be working with, actually three of the people that I will be working with in the future regarding this third house stuff of me just making different financial moves, they're all Capricorns. I don't think that's a coincidence. Honestly, if you know a Capricorn, you might want to link up with them, because they're going to be the people you want to really watch and model yourself after. And if you can get into business with them, do so, because they are going to be taking off. Another sign that's going to be getting a lot of positive energy from this are us Scorpios, because our voices are going to be expanded. So that's what Jupiter in the third is going to do for us. Is, it's going to expand our voices about different things. So if you know a Scorpio and you're like, oh, she never got the recognition that she deserved, or so-and-so been saying for years they're going to start an auto business, third house rules cars, and they haven't done it. Well, this year is going to be the year that the Scorpios are going to be doing that. Let's see, Aquariuses, you'll probably see a little bit more with, like, this sign will also, well, no, not Aquariuses. No, I'm not talking about them. Let me back up. It's going to be, I think Leos are going to see a lot of things happen with their love life that are going to be more positive for them. But yeah, different signs, different stuff. It's based on your rising and your sun. So that's why I said get with me if you want a personal reading on that. But yes, if you are not focused on generational wealth, which is a Capricorn thing, being a good parent, which is a Capricorn thing, building businesses, building money, building wealth, doing things that are going to help you in the long term, that are going to help your family in the long term. Because the North Node, please remember, the North Node is still in Cancer. So it's going to be opposing Jupiter. So you want to do things that are going to be for the positive, the good, and for the long term of your family. Also, for those of human beings who have decided that they do not want to respect the divine feminine, this is going to be a hard year for those people. It's going to be very hard, because Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter all being in Capricorn is going to be like, you have to respect women, you have to give them what they deserve, you have to follow the laws, which is Capricorn energy, the law about how to, so you may see more laws come into effect towards men on them not doing things that are abusive towards women. So I recently heard in Texas, it is now illegal or there's a fine involved if a man sends a picture of his male parts to a woman, which is something that a lot of men for some reason like to do. I don't know why they like to do this. It's disgusting, but I've had it happen to me numerous times. Most women have. You know, they'll just men will just send you a picture of their private parts. So that is actually now in Texas they're fined for that. You'll probably see more things like that happen. You may see people go to jail for a lot of white collar crimes. Stuff that's Capricorn energy. Again, Jupiter's in its fall, so it's not going to be just like super easy energy. It's going to be checking people. Now, as far as investing is concerned, and money and business, which is Capricorn energy, this is why astrology is so important. So after Jupiter leaves Capricorn next December, I think it's next December, it's going to move into Aquarius. Sorry about the noise. I'll try. So Jupiter is going to be in Capricorn. So, Jupiter in Capricorn until December. So then after that, Jupiter is going to move into Aquarius. So Aquarius is all about technology, about friendships, about groups. Knowing again this progression of energy, this was a good time to invest in tech, because when Jupiter goes into in Aquarius, it's going to explode. It's going to expand in Aquarius energy. So, a little tip there for those of you who are trying to want to look ahead, which is what Capricorn is about. Remember, it's a mountain goat. It knows where to put its feet. So you should be, wherever Capricorn is, you need to be looking ahead. If it's in your second house, money, your self-esteem, stuff like that, because that's how it was for me this year. Focusing on yourself and self-value and self-worth and increasing your worth and stuff like that. So yes, look forward ahead. Bitcoin, anything technology, anything out of the norm, non-profits, stuff like that. And also that's also gonna amplify friendships. So you'll really know who your friends are about the time Jupiter goes into Aquarius, because you're gonna find the people who are on the same thing that you're on. Because this energy is gonna get rid of the fake friendships and the struggle jobs, and if you hate your job, chances are you're probably gonna go off on your own this year, because you're gonna be like, man, $180 a day, I can make $180 a day doing this in 4 hours, and you're just gonna be like, whatever. So yes, you're gonna see what house Capricorn is in for you, and then you'll know how you'll be affected. Yeah. So yes. So that's kind of how that's gonna go. With that, like I said, please be looking ahead, because next December it's gonna be tech life. Everything's gonna be technical. Everything's gonna be about I don't want to say communal living, but you'll see a rise in communal living when Jupiter goes into Aquarius, but I'll talk about that at the end of next year. But yes, this is about building. This is about building. This is about money. This is about long-term wealth. You may have to do some things you don't necessarily really want to do. Really, some of the stuff that I'm doing right now, I don't want to say that I don't want to do it. The things I'm gearing up to do, it's just I never saw myself doing them. But I know that there are lucrative opportunities that keep being presented to me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to stop not taking these opportunities when there are definitely lots of perks for these opportunities. They just don't necessarily fit what I want. It's kind of like, an example is like deciding you're going to get your plumbing license, even though you don't really want to be a plumber, but you can make enough money to live the kind of life that you want to live. It's kind of like that, because once you get the money, you can invest in dance school, or you can invest in art school, or whatever the other thing is that you really want. That's kind of how it is, like with this energy. Capricorn is about responsibility. So it's about taking responsibility. And I know myself, my responsibility is about to go through the roof. But that is the cost of being in charge, which is ultimately the Capricorn goal, is being in charge, being the head. So I kind of am having to adjust my mindset, right? Because it's in my third house. Because I have to get my mind in the gear of like, if you do this for this many years, you'll be a millionaire. So like, come on, fam. Like, how, you know, you can't just do it. Kind of like, it's kind of the energy. But if you're gonna second guess yourself, if you're going to play the blame game and not take responsibility, this is gonna be hard. Like, if you're a victim, this is gonna be a really hard. Like, if you like one of them people that's like, well, I don't know, I don't think it's fair, and well, this is gonna be a hard transit for you. This was the transit for you to fuck around and just be happy and stuff. But this next, it's not gonna be like that. Especially after that conjunction in January, there are going to be a lot of like I said, I feel like there's going to be some type of an uprising. Some people have predicted wars. I don't know if I necessarily feel war energy, but I feel like there's going to be an uprising of some kind in January, and then as things go on, just a shifting of how American people think. It's just going to be very real, and life is going to change a lot. Yeah, it's going to be about being responsible. Like, if you just want to play video games all day, this is going to be a hard transit for you. If you've been focusing on, I got to buy a house, I got to buy some land, I got to find another way to make money besides this damn job. You know, I got to start an LLC. Your mind is tapped into, that's spirit speaking to you on how the next steps you need to take. Because if you're not focused on that, I'm telling you, next year it's not going to be good for you, because there are going to be shifts in laws and possibly leadership that are going to make it to where if you're not focused on growth, things are just going to be really, really challenging for you. You're gonna end up being the worker, basically. You're gonna end up calling somebody else that has their own business and being like, man, can I get a job? Can I? Because you weren't trying to be ahead yourself. Yeah, fourth house, and you'll probably like purchase a home or something like that, or buy some land or something like that. I could totally see that happening. Or building something for women. Yes, and wherever you have Capricorn, you probably are feeling that energy. Like, I gotta make some motherfucking moves. Like, you feel that energy. I know. Look, I got my foreign language app. And when I tell you I don't want to talk to nobody, I don't. I literally just want to focus on this exam that I have coming up and building positive circles around me. The third house is kind of like I said, it's your neighbors, and it's kind of like your associates. It's not really your friends. And so, me building only just being around people that are like on the same vibe as me, that I can literally call and be like, let's talk about money. Because I really don't want to talk about anything else. I really don't give a fuck about any, like, I'm at a point, I've gotten so tired. I don't want to hear about anybody's boyfriend. Like, I really fucking don't. I really don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to see a picture of your cat. Like, let's talk about this money. Yeah, so Jupiter transited my second house this year. My natal, it's kind of in both my first and my second, but anyway, it transited my second house this year. And I've been meaning to call you too. I'm gonna contact you. My self-esteem increased greatly. And Jupiter in the second, it increases your expenses. Okay, and I spent a lot of money this year, but I made the most money this year than I've ever made. So it's like it increased my income and my outgoing. And Sagittarius energy is so frivolous, so it's like I really didn't save as much as I wanted to. That was kind of tough, but this next transit is gonna get me all the way right. It's gonna help me a lot. Yes, it's time to boss up. Yes, that is literally like, that's it. That's the name of the video. I'm probably gonna name it that. It's boss up energy, because Capricorn is the boss. It's the authority figure. You're either gonna be the boss, or you're going to be working under somebody else and having them tell you what to do. That's kind of like where this energy is shifting. You're either gonna do that, or Those of you with your ninth house, you might be like, you know what, fuck America, I'm out. It might be time for you to go. You know, you might be over it, which I can't really blame you at this point with the stuff I've been seeing. Yes, girl, the expenses were out of control, and I really feel like it's because, you know, Jupiter was in its home sign. So it like exploded my income, but it exploded my expenses, and it was just like. But now, yeah, Jupiter in Cap, honestly, at some point, after I make some different shifts, I really might get somebody to manage my money for me. Because it's just like, dude, I gotta get it. Which is a job for somebody. Somebody that's a financial advisor. Somebody decides they want to start a financial advising business, you know, and then now I'm going to them and I'm helping them grow their business. The sun will be in Capricorn on the 21st, but right now Saturn and Pluto is in Capricorn, and Jupiter's going to move into Capricorn tomorrow. So that's why this energy is going to be so off the chain, because it's going to be joining Saturn and Pluto, which are very heavy-hitting planets. And they're all going to meet up in January at the exact same degree. So something is going to pop off in January 2020. That's like inevitable. And astrologers have been talking about this for about 5 or 6 years. Like I said, I don't want to say too much about what's going to happen, but I feel like there's going to be an uprising. And there's just going to be some laws that are going to change throughout the year. But something's going to pop off in January. It's going to be kind of real. So, now I wanted to do this video before it went officially into Capricorn tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to give you guys like the overview of what is Jupiter and Capricorn energy. Time to get your shit together. Time to boss up. That's what this Jupiter and Capricorn energy is about. It's really, really about that. And it's definitely going to be a time for men to take more responsibility for some of the things that have happened in society. That's kind of going to be a thing, because Jupiter is going to be opposing the North Node, and it's going to be there with Pluto and Saturn. So it's just going to be a transformation of masculinity in a way. So we'll see that. So that's that. And that is it for the video. So please hang out with me on youtube.com/blisshealth, where I'm going to upload this video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And then once I post it, I'll also put my newsletter so that you can be staying on top of what's going on and all that good stuff. Yes, girl, always check your solar. So I feel like it's more, the solar chart seems to be more accurate as far as real time to me. So that's that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.